Warning, what you're about to hear is not just a message. It's a spiritual interception. Something massive is moving. And while most people are too busy celebrating it with crystals and wish lists, you need to know the truth. Because this isn't just another cute manifestation trend. It's a cosmic landmine disguised as a miracle. They're calling July 7th a lucky day, a divine event, the 777 portal. Instagram is flooded with glittery posts about alignment and abundance. Everyone's convinced it's their time to rise. But what if I told you this portal doesn't open the way you think it does? What if I told you this portal doesn't just amplify dreams, it exposes illusions, and not gently? Imagine standing in front of a mirror that reflects not your smile, but your shadows, your hidden fears, your wounds, the thoughts you've buried under affirmations. That's what this day is. It's not a golden door, it's a spiritual MRI. And for those unprepared, it's not going to feel like destiny, it's going to feel like detonation. You've been told to manifest, to ask, to call things in, but no one warned you that some portals don't care what you ask for. They only care what you carry, because when the energy hits, it doesn't reward your words, it magnifies your frequency. And if that frequency is confused, broken, angry, jealous, or secretly doubting, that's exactly what gets multiplied. This is not fear-mongering, it's spiritual preparation. And it's already happening. I've seen it. People losing things they thought were stable, friends turning into strangers overnight, dreams that were blossoming suddenly collapsing with no explanation. This is what a true frequency shift looks like. Not glitter and vision boards, but energetic earthquakes that shake the fake loose. So here's your moment of clarity. If you're watching this, you weren't meant to be part of the crowd. You were meant to stand apart, and you were meant to be warned. July 7th. July 7th, 2025, the 7th day of the 7th month in a year where 2 + 5 = 7. That's not random, that's not numerology fluff. That's an energetic signature, 777, the same sequence inscribed into ancient initiations, the number of awakening, but also the number of reckoning. This portal isn't just opening, it's watching and it's listening. It will magnify what you touch, what you speak, what you feel, your love, your fear, your lies, your truth. So if there's any part of you that's been half-stepping, half-believing, half-hoping, this energy won't carry you forward, it will carry you out. You don't get to fake alignment under 777. The portal will strip the costume off your soul and ask, who are you really? And this is why you need to act now, because this moment won't repeat. This is not one of those maybe next time spiritual windows. This one seals. The energy you embody on this day will echo for months, maybe even years. So before we go deeper, do this right now. Like this video if it's already hitting something inside you. Subscribe if you're ready to receive guidance no one else is willing to say out loud. And drop the number 77 in the comments, not just to align with the portal, but to plant a flag, to claim your space, and to help this message reach the ones who are walking blindly toward the cliff. Because now we go in. Let me break this down for you. Not with mysticism, but with clarity. This energy isn't kind, it's exact. You either match it or get mirrored by it. The 7th of July is being romanticized like a day of blessings. But that's the bait. What's coming isn't a soft wave of light, it's a spiritual fire. And fire doesn't bless. It burns through what's false. Most people are chasing manifestations right now. Dream jobs, twin flames, wealth, peace. But they haven't dealt with the energy underneath. They haven't cleaned their field. They haven't severed the cords still bleeding into old timelines. So what happens when a portal like this opens? It doesn't deliver your wish list. It amplifies the chaos you've been hiding from. Think of it like lightning hitting a house. If the wiring is clean, the light flows through. If the wiring is faulty, the whole system explodes. That's what this portal is. Not a miracle, a voltage test. You've got people out here thinking they're manifesting clarity, but inside they're still full of resentment, fear, insecurity. The universe doesn't read your captions, it reads your core frequency. And on 777, that frequency is all that matters. This day doesn't ask what you want. It asks what you are. So if you've been building from a broken identity, chasing alignment without becoming aligned, the portal will answer your energy, not your intentions. And for some, that's going to be a brutal wake-up, because you either enter this day as your true self or get shattered by the false version you've been wearing. This video isn't here to scare you. It's here to strip away the fantasy, because there's still time, there's still space to choose presence over pretending. But that window is closing fast. The countdown isn't just to a date, it's to a shift in your timeline, and what you do now decides what echoes after. So stay with me, keep your energy open, and watch what I'm about to reveal next. Because once you understand what's really behind this 777 portal, you'll never look at spiritual dates the same way again. Let's continue. And now that you've been warned, let's talk about the truth almost no one wants to admit when it comes to manifestation, especially under the brutal light of a portal like 777. Most people aren't actually manifesting, they're projecting. They're not sending clear signals to the universe. They're leaking emotional pain, masked as dreams. They want love, but it's rooted in abandonment. They want wealth, but it's tied to shame. They want peace, but they're addicted to chaos. So instead of attracting new realities, they end up reanimating old wounds in prettier packaging. Because the universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your wiring. It doesn't care if you printed out the vision board or scripted the dream life into your journal. That's not what this energy reads. The 777 portal isn't checking your spelling or mood board aesthetics. It's scanning for vibration, especially the parts you've buried, especially the pain you've dressed up as purpose. You might wonder, but what if I've been doing the work? What if I've been healing? That's powerful, but here's the catch. The 777 portal is a mirror that doesn't blink. It won't be fooled by spiritual language. It will reveal whether that healing is real or rehearsed. Imagine trying to plant a seed in toxic soil. That's what it's like to manifest from unresolved trauma. You can visualize all day, but if your root frequency is fear, fear is what grows. The portal won't ask, what do you want? It will ask, what are you made of? And that's the part people don't see coming. Because under 777, the universe stops pretending with you. And if you're not embodying truth, it reflects the illusion until it cracks. What most people don't realize is the 777 portal doesn't ask questions. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It amplifies what's already alive inside you, raw, exposed, unfiltered. If you're trying to manifest love but still holding resentment like a blade behind your back, that's what gets multiplied. If you're chasing success from a place of panic, hustling to outrun the ghost of being overlooked, that panic is what echoes. The energy of July 7th isn't selective about what it magnifies. It doesn't say, only the beautiful parts, please. It magnifies everything, the intention and the infection. Think of it like a microphone that turns your whisper into thunder. What are you whispering to the universe without even knowing it? I don't trust. I'm still angry. I feel unworthy. You can say, I deserve more, all you want, but if your nervous system is wired for betrayal, the portal will read that, and it will reflect it back. This isn't a day that rewards dreams. It tests them. It doesn't care if your goal looks good on paper. It cares if your soul can carry it without collapsing. Some will walk away from this portal lighter, with a sharp, almost shocking clarity, as if fog was burned off their field. Others will spiral, not because they're weak, not because they failed, but because they tried to skip the transformation and jump straight to the reward. The universe doesn't match your wish list. It matches your readiness. And July 7th isn't about what you're asking for. It's about whether you're stable enough to hold it once it arrives. That's the test. That's the mirror. That's the amplifier. Here's the part that shakes most people. The universe isn't responding to what you wish for. It's responding to what you are. And that's exactly why July 7th is so dangerous. Not because it's out to punish you, but because it empowers the energy you've been feeding in secret. This portal doesn't come to judge. It comes to amplify, which means if you've been feeding truth, it will expand it like wildfire. But if you've been feeding fantasy, avoidance, or emotional escapism, that gets blown wide open too. People think they want healing, but often they just want the pain to stop. They think they're ready for alignment, but what they really crave is relief. The portal doesn't care which one it is. It magnifies whatever is strongest in your field. And most of the time, what's strongest is what you've been trying the hardest to suppress. This energy is not a soft glow. It's not glitter or moonlight. It's a furnace. It burns through everything that isn't rooted in soul. Fake confidence? Gone. Forced friendships? Exposed. False identities? Shattered. You might wake up and realize you no longer resonate with the people you've built your life around. That's not failure. That's frequency correction. Because the 777 portal doesn't support illusions. It strips them. And if you've been pretending, even to yourself, it will pull the mask off so fast, your nervous system might mistake it for a breakdown. But it's not chaos, it's clarity. It's your soul saying enough with the act. So if something cracks in your life during this portal, don't run. Look at what's being revealed. Because the only thing that survives this fire is what was real all along. This is where it gets even more dangerous, because manifestation isn't just personal, it's communal. Your frequency doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's constantly being shaped, pulled, and bent by the energies around you. And if you're not consciously anchoring your field, someone else will do it for you, even if they love you. Think of your energy like a sacred broadcast signal. You're trying to tune into your vision, your alignment, your truth. But what if someone nearby is blasting a stronger frequency filled with fear, shame, or desperation? If your field isn't protected, not by walls, but by awareness, their frequency can override yours like static drowning out your favorite song. This is why people feel exhausted after a conversation, why they feel suddenly confused after speaking confidently just moments ago. Why doubt creeps in right after a surge of clarity. That's not just life, that's frequency hijack. Under the 777 portal, this is amplified tenfold. The energy will respond to the strongest vibration in your field, and if that strength is coming from someone else's fear, you will unknowingly start manifesting their reality. That's how you end up chasing goals that aren't yours, entering relationships that drain you, or missing aligned opportunities because someone else's doubt sat louder than your own belief. You may think you're manifesting, but you're leaking, and someone else is using what you're broadcasting. This portal doesn't ask, whose energy is this? It just amplifies it. So if you're surrounded by people who operate from lack, victimhood, or bitterness, that signal becomes your soundtrack. And that's the real danger, not what's in your mind, but what's allowed in your field without permission. And now we step into one of the most underestimated weapons in your spiritual arsenal, your voice. Words are not just sounds, they are codes. And on a portal day like 777, every syllable becomes a spell, whether you meant to cast one or not. Your voice doesn't just vibrate the air around you, it stamps your frequency into the ether. That's why on days like this, even your casual sarcasm carries weight. That joke about being unlucky in love, that passive-aggressive remark about someone else's success, that whisper of doubt in a quiet moment. The portal doesn't laugh, it listens. This isn't fear-mongering, it's energetic literacy, because when the veil thins, more is listening. Not just higher guidance or divine allies, but opportunistic frequencies, wandering projections, echoes of other people's fears looking for a doorway. Think of a portal like an open channel. It amplifies clarity, yes, but it also amplifies noise. And if your words are mixed with confusion, bitterness, or unspoken pain, that's what gets interpreted and activated. The energy doesn't just ask, what did they say? It asks, what did they mean? What did they feel when they said it? And if your intention is unclear, something else will gladly step in and finish the sentence for you. That's how people accidentally manifest delay, chaos, or mixed results. Not because they're cursed, but because they spoke from uncertainty, and uncertainty is an open invitation for distortion. So today, speak like the universe is taking notes, because it is. On 777, you don't get to speak carelessly. You're broadcasting, and not every frequency listening has your best interest in mind. There are certain words that feel soft, harmless, even beautiful, but on a day like 777, some of them become spiritual landmines, and one of the most dangerous. I hope. It sounds innocent, right? Like light in a dark place. But under this portal, hope is not light, it's leakage. It's hesitation dressed up as optimism, and hesitation is spiritual quicksand. On this day, I hope vibrates like uncertainty, like doubt, like you're not fully standing in what's yours. You're politely asking for permission from a universe that doesn't operate on politeness, only precision. The 777 frequency doesn't respond to maybe. It responds to conviction. If you're not clear, the signal becomes static. That's how you end up attracting people who are halfway in. Opportunities that vanish at the last second. Results that feel close, but never quite land. Not because you weren't worthy, but because your energy whispered, "I'm not sure." When you say, "I hope," what you're really saying is, "I'm not ready to claim." You're handing the steering wheel to fate and calling it faith. But this portal isn't for the passive. It's for those who decide, for those who stand up and say, "This is mine. This is who I am now. This is already done." Clarity isn't arrogance, it's alignment. And on a day like 777, clarity speaks louder than any ritual. So burn the hope, replace it with knowing. Because this portal doesn't reward dreams, it activates declarations. It doesn't deliver what you wish for, it delivers what you embody. And the difference between the two is everything. If you've been feeling exhausted, foggy, overwhelmed, it's not just stress, it's not burnout. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're under spiritual pressure. Your body is absorbing more than just emotion, it's absorbing frequency. This is what spiritual compression feels like. When the universe floods your field with pure bandwidth and light, and your nervous system is still wired for survival, not ascension. It hits like fatigue, like nausea, like bursts of anxiety in the middle of stillness. Weird dreams, sudden spikes of inspiration followed by complete mental blankness. Random body aches that doctors can't explain. That's not coincidence. That's your system trying to translate light into meaning, clarity into action. But the channels are still congested. Most people panic and try to numb it. They scroll, they avoid, they suppress. But the portal doesn't slow down for comfort. It keeps transmitting. Because this isn't punishment, it's activation. Your intuition is screaming through static. It's saying, clear the noise, pay attention. Every headache, every emotional dip, every wave of tension isn't a problem. It's a portal, a message in disguise. Ask yourself, what thought triggered this? What environment caused my energy to collapse? What part of me is resisting the truth that's trying to rise? Because the ones who decode the discomfort, who stop labeling their symptoms as problems and start treating them as signals, those are the ones who move through this portal with vision instead of confusion. This isn't fatigue, it's recalibration. You're not dying, you're downloading. And if you can stop running from the noise, you'll finally start hearing the message inside it. Here's the part almost no one understands about the 777 portal. It doesn't close when the clock strikes midnight. This isn't Cinderella. There's no glitter that vanishes at 12 a.m., no cosmic door that shuts when the calendar flips to the 8th. The truth is, the portal doesn't end. You do. This energy stays open as long as your consciousness is in motion. What closes is not the portal. It's your opportunity to respond to it with presence, with clarity, with alignment. Most people will think it ended already. They'll wake up the next morning, brush off the dizziness, the dreams, the chaos in their chest, and go right back to autopilot. They'll scroll past posts about the portal being over, never realizing that the real shift didn't need their permission. It needed their participation. Because what you think, say, and feel on July 7th echoes, not in a metaphorical way, but in a literal energetic imprint. That vibration gets stamped onto your field, and that frequency ripples through the days and weeks to come, shaping outcomes before you even connect the dots. Some people will feel a strange momentum, synchronicities clicking, clarity dropping in like lightning, old doors swinging open with new energy, and they'll think, wow, something shifted. And yes, something did. They aligned, consciously or not. Others, they'll feel stuck, disconnected, heavy, like they missed something but can't explain what. And they did. Not because the universe skipped over them, but because they weren't present when the shift was asking for a witness. Even if you ignored the portal didn't ignore you. Your body still reacted, your energy still voted, your subconscious still spoke. The field recorded every ounce of your alignment, or lack of it. So ask yourself now, truthfully, what did it record for you? Because July 7th was never about a date. It was about a decision. And whether you made it with awareness or let old programming make it for you, that imprint is already in motion. That's the wild part. You don't even need to be aware of the portal for it to alter your path. You could have spent the whole day binge-watching shows, avoiding your intuition, or looping in mental fog. It doesn't matter. The energetic camera was still rolling. The frequency was still listening. Your patterns still chose. The question isn't, did the portal work? It's what did you give it to work with? Because now, the momentum is sealed, the echo is live. And over the next few weeks, what unfolds won't just be random life events. It'll be a direct reflection of what you were on that day. So if it feels like something's off, if it feels like something didn't land, that's not failure. That's feedback. And if it feels like something clicked, that's your sign. You didn't miss the shift. You became it. This wasn't just a spiritual date on the calendar. It was a checkpoint, a multidimensional threshold where energy either crystallized or cracked. And if you're still wondering whether anything really happened on July 7th, let me tell you something most people will miss. You either locked in or you're about to loop again. That's it. No in-between, no neutrality, no floating in the middle. This portal didn't come to inspire you. It came to expose your energetic posture. Were you rooted in truth or wavering in fear? Were you leading your frequency or still waiting for someone else to tell you it was safe to believe in yourself? Most people think change happens with words, that you can say the right affirmation, write the right journal prompt, and suddenly become magnetic. But the truth is, the universe doesn't respond to what you said. It responds to what you embodied. It responds to the emotional tone you sent into the field when no one was watching, the silent decisions, the gut feelings, the things you meant beneath the things you said. So ask yourself right now, with brutal honesty, what did I actually send out on that day? Not the list I wrote, not the mantra I repeated. What did I feel? What did I believe? What did I carry in my body, in my breath, in my behavior? Because that's the signal the portal received. That's the frequency it locked into place. Some of you sent out readiness, and now life will start rearranging itself to meet that version of you. Others sent out hesitation, and life will echo that too. In delays, distractions, subtle losses that feel like déjà vu, because they are. You've been here before. You're in the loop. This portal didn't make the choice for you. It reflected the choice you already made, consciously or not. And now, that choice becomes your trajectory. The scariest thing isn't that the portal judged you. It's that it simply mirrored you back to yourself. That's the most sacred form of accountability there is. So if something feels off, if your energy feels scattered, or your path suddenly unclear, don't panic, reflect, realign. The portal gave you a mirror. What you do with what you saw in it, that's where your real power lies. Because this energy is still moving, its echo will unfold in waves. But what determines whether it carries you forward or traps you in the same emotional patterns is whether you integrate what was revealed. So take a breath, get still, remember the moment, and make it count. You either became the signal you were meant to send, or you sent a version of yourself you no longer want to live as. One leads to liberation, the other leads to repetition. And the portal, it's already sealed the vote. So now that the portal has spoken and the energy has sealed, the only question that matters is, what version of you did it lock in? What future did your frequency silently vote for? If this message hit you in the chest, it's because it was meant for you. You were meant to remember. So take a moment, ground your truth, and step forward with full awareness. If you found this powerful, like the video, subscribe for more high-frequency guidance, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim your alignment and help spread this message to those who need it most.